What's up, MMA fans? MMA Originalist here, back to do another video, and this is kind of going to be my first thank you to my subscribers video. Like I said in my last video, I said I had my 50th subscriber, and again, for me that was a big deal. I've only had 11 or 12 videos. I've basically stuck to the prospect series videos. I haven't done any prediction videos. Looking to expand that here in the near future. There's a few hot topics I like to hit on, a few more interactive videos I like to get into. Like you say, you can tell from my videos that I do like them being interactive. Of course, we had a few of the viewers' choice videos, which turned out to be really cool. We had lots of responses, lots of comments, lots of input. So that worked out really great, and I hope keep doing interactive videos here in the future. So kind of my way of doing a thank you to the subscribers. It's one thing to give a shout out, but to make things interesting and kind of make it more interactive instead of just a thank you, let's do an MMA contest, specifically a prediction contest. I think it's a great idea. It'll keep guys interested. Number one, you have to be a subscriber. If you're not already a subscriber, you can subscribe and get involved in the contest. It's not a plug for me to get more subscribers. It's a thank you to the existing subscribers, and if I get more subscribers, well, great. I'll get more casual fans, more hardcore fans involved in the sport. Gives you another outlet. I definitely do different kinds of videos of the other people on there. So, like I said, my contest is going to be a prediction contest, and I picked out 12 fights over a series of events. I haven't included events that are coming in the near future. I would have liked to include the upcoming UFC 101. Would have liked to include the WEC card on the August 9th, and the next Strikeforce card. That's some great fights. But it's the summertime, a lot of people are on vacation, they're not getting their computers every day, so we're too close to those dates. I like to keep it a little wider range. It gives more people a chance to get involved in the contest. Gives people more time to actually get to their computer. Some people might be away from their computer for a couple of weeks in the summer. So I pushed it back a bit. I think it makes it a little fair. I'm going to list the fights first. Which fights and from which event, and then we'll get into the scoring system. So the first two fights I picked are off of and I'll put all the fights in the right hand column, which event they're on, and I'll put the scoring system also in the right hand column, make things a little bit more clear. First fight I picked, UFC 102, Randy Couture versus Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Should be a great fight. Second fight is also from UFC 102, Brendan Vera versus Krzysztof SOSZYNSKI. Fight number 3 and 4 are both from the Ultimate Fight Night 19, Chris Wilson versus Mike PYLE, and Chris LYTLE versus Carlos Condit. UFC 103, we have 6 fights. First one is Efren Escuero versus Cole Miller, Mike SWICK versus Martin Kampman, Mirko Krokop versus Junior Dos Santos, Thomas DRWAL versus Drew McFedries, Jason BRILZ versus Elliot Marshall, and Vitor Belfort versus Rich Franklin. The 11th fight is from 3-11. Excellent fight. Shinya Aoki versus Hellboy Hansen. Can't wait for that one. And the last fight from WEC 43, it's an undercard fight. Newly signed Mushin Comrie versus Anthony NJOKUANI. And I hope I pronounced his last name right. It's like I said, it's an undercard fight. It's tough on the call, so I decided to include it in the mix. That's a total of 12 fights. UFC 102, I believe, is the first event of the D series. So you want to get all your picks in prior to UFC 102. For more info on these fights, feel free to send me a message. Take a look at MMAplayground.com if you're looking for some information on these fights. Of course, UFC.com, the WEC's homepage or Dream's homepage, will also give you some more info on these fights. Of course, you can watch some of the YouTubers do their predictions, might help you out a bit. Scoring system. Again, I'll post this stuff in the right hand column, but there's going to be 4 categories. 5 points for the victory. You choose the right victory, you get 5 points. 5 points for which type of finish we have, if it's a submission, a knockout, or a decision, and 5 points for which round the fight ends. Actually, when we're talking type of finish, when we get to a decision, you could either have a majority decision, unanimous decision, split decision, and of course which round the fight's going to end. That's three categories, and the 4th category is kind of an oddball category, but I mean there is a chance we could have a tie here, and we can't cut the prize in 2. So my tiebreaker is going to be, if necessary, we'll go to this 4th category, and it will be to pick the exact time the fight ends. Sounds kind of crazy, but it'll be the closest guy to it. So if there's 2 people tied, if one guy had 60 points, the other guy had 60 points, then we start going through the tiebreaker bonus to each of the fights. Let's say the first fight ended at 4 minutes of the 2nd round, and of course one guy guesses it ends at 3:48, the other guy says 4:40. Obviously the guy who said 3:48 is closest. Because it sounds kind of confusing, but we kind of got to have it just in case you have a tiebreaker. I'll post it on the right hand column again to make things a little clearer. So now getting on to the prize. It's an excellent award. The complete 2003 Pride Middleweight Grand Prix Tournament. If you were a fan of MMA in the early 2000s, man, this was a big tournament that came up. A lot of hype if you were a fan of the sport, like a dream come true. We had Vanderlei Silva, of course, in his heyday, was a machine. Chuck Liddell made the trip over from the UFC, went to Japan. It was huge at the time. Dana White basically went over, and I still remember him at the press conference calling out Pride, saying Chuck will win the middleweight tournament. Other participants: Alistair Overeem, Quentin Jackson, Murlo Bustamante, Kazushi Sakuraba, Hidehiko Yoshida, Satoshi Tamura was involved. You'll also get some other great fighters: Fedor, Mirko Krokop, Big Nog, Kevin Randleman, Dan Henderson, Igor Vachanchin. The 4-disc collector's edition. It's a can't miss DVD set. Excellent package. Like I said, 4 DVDs, 2 events, uncut interviews, outtakes, the whole shebang here. It's a no-brainer. And like I said again, this is for people watching the videos, commenting. It's another interactive video. It should be a great contest. Should be interesting to see if anybody can shoot a shutout and go 12-0. So anyways, thanks again for watching the videos, for participating in them, and may the best man win. And when we get to, if someday I get to 100 subscribers, we'll do an even bigger contest. Until next time, peace out.